The title of my speech today is Hip Hop, Mental Evaluation of Eminem. Now before I go into this, why is this important? Well, I'm going broader perspective. It's not just Eminem, but music in general. And Eminem is a very popular artist, so I feel like I can use him as an example, especially a staple of hip hop. And according to psychology today, music is very important. It connects with our soul, if you will. It can affect our characteristics, it can affect our emotions, the way we act. And it's very powerful stuff, so it is, I guess, you should be wise on what kind of music you listen to. So now I bring up Eminem, one of the most popular pop artists, possibly of all time, to be honest. And I'll start with a few quotes. Okay. I don't care if you're homosexual, straight, gay, no, not gay, rich, poor, black, white, whatever. If you respect me, I'll respect you. Eminem. No matter what anyone says, don't let them say you ain't beautiful. Eminem. I take 7 kids from Columbine, stand them in line. Add an AK-47, a revolver, a 9, a Mac 11, which ought to solve a problem of mine, and it's a whole school of bullies shot up all at one time. Eminem. My words are like a dagger with a jagged edge to stab you in the head, whether you're a fag or les. A homosex, a humurf, a trans, a vest, pants or dress, 8 fags, the answer's yes. Eminem. Okay, there's quite an inconsistency here. And then you wonder, okay, what's happening with this dude? Because Eminem's a very interesting character. I got respect for this dude's creative mind. This dude's a wordsmith on wordsmiths. If anything, the guy has very good creative juices in his head. I was like, man, what's up with this dude's mentality? Because this guy can be super positive, super inspiring, like on this one side extreme things, and then the next song he's like totally opposite of who he is. And so there's a bunch of stuff I'm gonna cover today, but these are the main things I'm gonna cover for Eminem. Okay, so the general themes I'm gonna cover on Eminem today about his mental evaluation are these things. Multiple personality disorder. It's pretty much, simple terms, alter egos. People use them to kind of divert responsibility on actions as a defense mechanism, and they literally have multiple identities inside them, multiple personalities. Bipolar is pretty much mood swings. You're really happy, upbeat 1 second, next second you're depressed and angry. If your already complex is the fear of not being able to match up to society's standards, and also, I guess, standards that are put by family, I guess your own expectations. And splitting, it's a psychological effect of you're either bad or good. There's no middle ground. It's the incapability of taking both your weaknesses and your strengths and forming them into a fluid identity. And he has all of these right here, I'll tell you that right now. But anyway, so take a brief history of Eminem. These are all his albums right here, up to date, first to last. And it's very interesting because the first Infinite album was so crappy, 1,000 records only. It was super positive. I was freaking out when I heard Infinite because it's the most positive album ever. This is when he was I don't know, very young, early 20s or whatever. I mean, this guy is telling you, go for your dreams, don't care about the environment, you can overcome that kind of jazz. It's very, even a love song, like a legit love song to a girl. It's not about killing girls. It was a legit love song. I was freaking out. And of course, after this, he tried to commit suicide. He failed. Freaking knew. But after that, though, after selling very little albums, he got this different persona. And that persona is Slim Shady. I'm sure most people know or are familiar with this thing. And Eminem calls Slim Shady his alter ego. He literally said in his music and the quotes too, it is the evil side of him, the foul mouth side of him. It is the reason why he has a bunch of problems, like his parents' relationship, his daughter relationship. This is why Slim Shady is this evil character that he cannot overcome. And this second album after Dr. Dre found him is the Slim Shady LP, and this album's crazy because it's like this world of cartoonish evil violence. It's pretty impressive on a creative standpoint. I think it's actually his most creative album ever. But it's really evil stuff, you know. There's a whole song about him and his daughter chilling, driving at nighttime, about to bury his dead wife's body because he just murdered him. Yep, that's a song, but it's really calm, it's really interesting. It is a bunch of stories about drug overdoses, raping sluts, trailer park people, it's crazy. But the wordplay is awesome. But as you can see, these two are like totally different. Like it's pretty impressive on a psychological standpoint on what happened between these two. After Slim Shady LP, it was the Marshall Mathers LP. And that's Marshall Mathers is his actual name. And this was a little closer to home. He got more emotional, really angry, violent. And you know, there's parts of the album where he puts in Slim Shady, especially the last one, Criminal. That's the one where he talks about hating gay people pretty much. And the album is interesting, but also this one though, he has the before story of that story where he's buried his dead wife. It's called Kim, and this is a rap song about him murdering his wife. It's nuts. Like, he's straight up yelling the whole time. It's pretty, and like the graphics are crazy. And yeah, but this is Marshall Mathers now. This is his raw emotion. But Slim Shady LP didn't have any emotion. So this is a story about this twisted world. This is really personal, really F the world, F everyone. This is how I feel. Then after that came the Eminem show. And this is like the middle ground. Like it's kind of a mixture of Marshall Mathers LP and Slim Shady LP. And it's more of him playing the part of being this artist on stage, performing for everyone. But at the same time, it touches on subjects like how the fame has ruined his relationship with his daughter. But then he also has, his little songs about making fun of people and killing people, of course. And that's Eminem, Slim Shady. So it's a mixture of both. And I think this is him trying to mix the two apart in a sense to figure out who he really is. But he kind of failed in that. And then Encore came about, and this was a really weird album because he was drugged out. You know what he's doing. This album didn't have any fluidity in a sense. All these albums had a type of theme, but this one was all over the place. It's talking about Rain Man, this other thing, when he's called Rain Man, he's a devil possessed him, This is really whacked out. But the cool part was at the same time, it also produced tracks like Mockingbird, a very heartfelt song for his daughter. Like it's not violent at all. It's actually very, I guess, introspective in a sense. And it's a really good song. Like there's actually pretty good songs on here, but it's a really weird album. After that, his best friend died, got shot in a club, became manic depressive, tried to commit suicide again, and failed again. and then he released Relapse. This is like after 4 or 5, I forget how much year break. And this is the weirdest album of the day. This is like totally horrorcore, trying to bring Slim Shady back. And the weird part too was, in the encore, he said he wanted to kill Slim Shady. In a song called When I'm Gone, he literally says, I'm killing Slim Shady. Bullet pops, and he's supposed to be dead. But apparently Relapse was supposed to be bringing back Slim Shady again. And it's a straight up horrorcore album. Like, oh man. This album is really weird because there's like 18 songs. 17 of the songs is murder stories, raping people, raping babies, killing babies. Like really graphic, really really dark and twisted. That's what horrorcore is. And then it's really weird because at the very end, there's a song called Beautiful. And it's a song literally about saying, don't let no one say you're not beautiful. And talking about like feelings and stuff. It's really weird. I was like, where did this come from? I think it's just because he had such a long break, he didn't know what the heck he was doing. But it's really weird. And then recovery is supposed to be now he's not, because relapse is supposed to be like his drug thing. Recovery now is like, yeah, I'm out of rehab. I'm a new man. And it was his most positive Eminem album up to date, which not saying much. Well, don't add this. This is not a major studio album. Like it was really, spaced on, sort of a love story, but he ends up killing himself in the end. Oh, he has some other songs about, not afraid to take a stand and stand up for his young generation for him to move on. He talks about how he's the master of rap and ego tripping. Like this is the most egotistic album he has, Relapse. And not only that, recovery. Like it's the most ever seen him brag. Before that, he's just nagging on everyone, but this one he really brags a lot about who he is, recovery. I know it was a pretty positive taking album. It's pretty Relapse, I guess. Then the last album was Marshmallow's LP2. It is weird because it's just, revisit to Marshmallow's LP. I guess he doesn't know what the heck he's gonna do now. But it was a really weird album too, I feel like, because he was trying to capture the essence of this, he even said that. But he has songs like apologizing to his mom and like kind of being a baby, to be honest. Like I don't buy it. I don't buy Eminem at this point. Because like there's songs of him saying, he's talking, like he has songs that really are kind of like this, like really violent, really angry, da da da. Then he has these weird poppy songs about I'm sorry, da 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 da. And I was like, and I feel like though, that all the contradiction happening in here, I feel like all of it is who he is. And like, discussing Slim Shady, it's definitely multiple personalities. So I mean, like this dude, I feel like Slim Shady in the heart of hearts, Eminem in the heart of hearts is like the good person. Okay, good person. But the problem is, because he wasn't accepted as a good person, Infinite, he really became this dark person. Now Slim Shady is his way of getting loved pretty much. Because after he became Slim Shady, a lot of people accepted him. And throughout his music, you can really see like he's really dark, really happy, like really dark, negative, positive, bounces back and forth. And I really think he does have bipolar disorder. Because the way he was raised, his mom hated him, drug addict. She did a lot of messed up things to him. And that's the environment he raised up, Detroit, people racist against him, bullied him a lot. He has a huge inferiority complex, which explains why he has a bunch of these things, because he cannot handle responsibility and choice, because every time he's been given that, he's failed in a sense, and a huge backlash happened pretty much. And because of that, though, he also has splitting. There's no middle ground for everything. He's an extreme personality. He's either evil and good, and you can hear in his music, he wrestles with that a lot. Because he knows he wants to be this good father, at the same time he wants to be Slim Shady and this rap legend. And you can't have both of them. And I guess the result is this crazy, messed up diagram of art that shows a huge contradiction, but also points towards a big truth. And what I'm saying throughout this is, like a lot of, listening to this type of music, you don't really think about the stuff behind it. And because music hits so close to home, I really do say, you should watch what you listen to, because psychology does state that what you listen to can manifest through you. And the thing about the artists you listen to, what are they saying? What type of spirit, what type of mentality are they coming at you? Because art is very complex, and I think it really value you to know what you're listening to and how it affects you. Okay.